scenery in this dreamscape is truly breathtaking, isn't it?
Oh, Robin. Can't believe I'm meeting you in person here. What an honor. You're right. Even though time stands still in this dreamscape, it always feels fresh. I find something new every time.
A philosophical mind. I hope I'm not intruding.
Oh, not at all. No. With little time left, I yearn for meaningful conversations, especially with someone as esteemed as you. Do you mind if we chat?
It's my pleasure. No need to be formal. Just speak your mind. You said, with little time left. Please, forgive me for being blunt. But is that why you came to Penacony?
Yeah. I was part of a war, and while escaping from the Sarkosian mothership, I got exposed to some radioactive materials. And then, all my comrades died, and my hometown was wiped out by neutron bombardments. I couldn't bear to live with everything I knew gone. That's when I heard about a possible solution here, so I came.
How heart-wrenching. I hope the family has been able to help you.
They have, and I'm truly grateful for that. They provided me with a comfortable room, the most advanced life support devices in the cosmos, and a stellar team of caregivers. My physical body is now in the dream pool, sustained by life support. The me you see here is whole, rational, and no different from any other person. But I can't say the same for the me in the hotel room. My true appearance. Huh? I hope you never have to witness it, Robin.
So, you'll be living forever in this dreamscape, right?
Just being able to live at all is good enough for me. Whether it's in this dreamscape or not, well, I don't really have much say in the matter. My world has been torn apart, and my life could end any second. So, even if this whole place is an illusion, it's still my paradise. And I'll treasure every moment I spend here. How I envy those everlasting things.
Oh man's story. It's so tragic. Fortunately, this sweet dream gives him joyful memories to hold on to for the rest of his life.
That's precisely why this sweet dream in Penacony exists.
However, even the sweet dream has its limitations. While it provides solace to the disillusioned, it can't completely eliminate pain in reality.
There will be a way out. Penacony is already on the right track.
Look what we have here. Brother, what a surprise to see you again.
Show yourself. Your trick won't work on us.
I've heard that a skilled mass fool received an invitation too. That must be you, right? Did you enjoy yourself?
Barely. The people here are way too gullible. A little bait is all it takes for them to bite. And they run away at the slightest hint of danger. In other words, they're naive and cowardly.
Now that you've had your fill, it'd be wise to leave before it's too late. The music of the harmony doesn't tolerate discord.
What? Now that you have the real Robin, I'm useless? Oh, how disheartening. I've done so much for the family. You should be thanking me, because if it weren't for me cleaning up this mess, Penacony would still be in shambles. Don't you think?
That was a personal request from the head of the Iris family, and it has nothing to do with us. Step aside and stop causing trouble for the Charmony Festival.
The Charmony Festival? You think you can scare me? You think I've no idea what you're planning? I don't care what you're thinking, Chicken Wing Boy. But I'm pretty sure lovely Robin won't be appearing on stage. After all, you're well aware of what a sorry state this dreamscape is in under the banner of harmony. Penacony, the land of the dreams. Is this truly the paradise you desire?
Stop it.
What's the rush, Chicken Wing Boy? Did I get to you?
Our paradise is none of your concern, masked fool. Leave now, or the family won't tolerate you anymore.
All right. I'll go. But Robin, I suggest you seriously consider this. Do you really believe those living in dreams can escape pain and find true happiness? Well, I've done my part, and now I'm simply waiting for the fireworks to begin. Here, the last 2 gifts for both of you. And don't lose them. If by some unfortunate chance the Charmony Festival starts against all odds, remember to use them during the show. And it'll be thrilling. Bang!
I heard a raven cawing in the distance. It seems the Dream Master will arrive soon.
Hello.
Let's wait here for the Dream Master to arrive.
Okay.
Another round.
By the way, brother,
No one there.
I heard you no longer have a sweet tooth. Back when we were kids, you used to steal my desserts. Seems like a lot has changed during my absence. What exactly happened?
It's a public holiday.
Well, someone has to stay awake even in this sweet dream.
But that someone doesn't have to be you, or anyone in particular. You're carrying too much on your shoulders, brother. The paradise in our
I can't
dreams.
mess up.
It shouldn't be like this.
Oh, yeah.
Penacony is nothing more than a dream.
I have to fish Ira out
It
of
can't
water.
erase the worries and pain of reality, or bring
You guys are doing, right? I
It only
think I'm
offers
putting
an
creamy
escape
inside as well,
from
but I asked.
reality.
Okay. It's
Nothing
just
more.
my pet.
Remember the old
Yeah.
man we met earlier? Without this dream, he might have
I
completely
wanted
lost
to
himself.
put Nero also inside, but apparently we already have
True,
Roko inside there, so I'm like,
Even without Penacony,
that's
you
Nero.
could have chosen another path. As far as I know, the Intelligentsia Guild has been promoting their rehabilitation techniques for a long time now.
If I put a
Path may have been
broken
more ordinary and
pot,
challenging.
clay pot
And
inside
now,
here, would it be one?
He's receiving hospice
Anyway,
care
having
in a
much
comatose
breakfast? I'm
state
having breakfast
and
right
speak-
now, as we speak.
is sealed. Is Penacony granting these people a future?
I'm having peanut
Or
butter
is it taking it
and
away from them?
Well, don't forget this. Not everyone really has a future. The future for humanity is like the sky for birds. People mistakenly believe that flight is inherent to birds because they've never witnessed those birds crashing to their death. Do you remember how we took in that little Charmony dove when we were young?
Yeah. We took care of it. Provided food and water, groomed its feathers. And later, when I decided to leave Penacony, I opened the cage and set it free.
B&J? No. No jam.
I didn't mention what happened to it in my letters because I didn't want to upset you. Shortly after you left, it crashed to its death right in front of your window.
I had surmised as much. I knew you wouldn't have avoided mentioning the bird for no reason. Despite that unfortunate outcome, I still believe it was the right decision. Birds aren't meant to spend their lives in cages. They belong in the sky, even if they can't fly.
But here's the thing. If there are birds in this world that can never fly, can we really assert that they belong in the sky?
Are you implying that the same goes for humans too?
Let's take the Astral Express as an example. The Nameless made tremendous efforts to bridge worlds, gaining fame across the universe. However, only a few extraordinary individuals can endure such a perilous journey. That's because the pursuit of the Trailblaze exceeds the capabilities of ordinary humans. Otherwise, why would this path be filled with broken rails, an abandoned express, and even a fallen eon?
Enjoy your filet of fish.
That's just sophistry. If that were true, then only the powerful would have the right to determine the future.
Unfortunately, that's exactly what happens. Another name for the future is self-value. While this world has its fair share of heroes who inspire people and garner admiration for their heroic deeds, the majority of ordinary people will never become heroes in their lifetime. Some are born weak and vulnerable. Some find themselves trapped in unfortunate circumstances.
Oh, I guess
Some fall victim to malice and cowardice.
breakfast.
When it comes to survival, everyone is equal. And the weak can only watch as their value gets constantly diminished by external forces.
That's why we should care for the weak and support them as if their suffering were our own. That's what the Odes of Harmony have always taught us.
While the Harmony holds noble aspirations, the strong will always be strong, and the weak will always be weak. Even in this carefree dream. Human nature contains greatness, but it also harbors inherent weaknesses that can't be eradicated. In the end, if people can't even secure their own survival, they won't care about the illusory future of equality. As long as the law of survival of the fittest prevails, there will always be fledglings crashing to their
There are
death.
times I don't mind to have
But
eyes.
if people don't live for the future, do they merely exist for survival? If even you,
Only dinner, like sometimes
brother,
I have.
don't
Right,
believe that
right.
the Harmony will save the weak, then which eon can make our dreams come true?
People often forget that when the first bird took flight,
Wait, a croissant
the
shark?
world
What the
envisioned a
fuck?
future where
Come on.
no more
Again,
fledglings would
legendary
ever crash to
croissant
their death.
shark.
Are you reading, sister? What are you reading?
Mr. Gopherwood gave me a picture book. It's about the story of the harmonic strings. If I could become a chord master, I'd like to summon Dominicus,
Who will
the
watch
harmonious
my
choir.
French?
I want to sing with everyone and spread our wishes so that all can feel happiness and joy.
I see. Then, I would summon the harmonious choir too.
Don't you have a wish of your own, brother?
Of course I do. It's just that it includes your wish and everyone else's. I long for a true paradise where everyone can find peace.
Let's build a stage there and invite everyone to our performance so that both our wishes come true through the power of the harmonious choir.
It's a deal then.
Yeah, it's a deal.
Oh, I'm glad you guys want to
How
stay with the
can
pond.
I become a cord
Just
master?
help me clear out the trash.
Maybe you will have to become a star first.
Oh, I'm back to marriage and a character. Let's go. Oh, you have a jellyfish plush.
You're back sooner than I thought. Any results?
8 hours.
Yes. And now, it's up to us to forge ahead.
Since he's already carried out his last wish, my final mission is complete. But pardon me if I sound curt. It's good to have determination. The path Mikhail left for you is not an easy one to tread. Why else would he have chosen to sleep in solitude, staking everything on some nameless in the future? But you have the numbers, and in numbers comes strength. So that might just delay your inevitable a little more.
Got any more encouraging words?
As I see it, relying on Welt's negotiations alone is far from enough. Regardless of whether the other party will be compliant, negotiating simply allows us to meet them as equals and won't grant us an upper hand.
Oh, someone got
Penacony is
skateboard.
our
Yeah,
rival's
yeah.
home turf, and we already have very
How
few
about you?
chips left to play with. Rather than idly sit around while the family's got us blocked off, an offensive approach might be a wiser course of action. We're more familiar with the Stellaron's properties than most, and since it's the key to stabilizing the sweet dream, it's vital to the family's interests. By attacking their core interests, they're bound to retaliate hastily. And as the saying goes, haste makes waste.
That's right. As long as we pose a threat to the Stellaron, either with words or otherwise, we have a chance at gaining the upper hand. But the problem is,
Alright, have
on
a
the
good day
eve of
work.
the Charmony Festival opening, how exactly are we going to get close to the theater? Family security will be airtight. And if we brute force it, even if we succeed, it's
You
too
got a
risky.
yellow tang there.
So,
You
no
too.
one's gonna say anything? Then
Don't be
I'll raise my
roasted.
hand. I know the answer to this question.
Roasty toasty. So no one's gonna say anything, then I raise my hand. I know the answer to this question. Of course you do. I never doubt you for a second, Martha.
The Express crew would have been disbanded long ago if it weren't for me.
Yeah, right.
So, I heard that before the Charmony Festival begins, there'll be a pageant to kick off the festival. It's called the Soul Glad TM Festivity Auditions, or something. And it's going to be held in the moment of Scorch Sand.
Did a barracuda.
As long as we clinch the top spot, we'll be able to attain the title of Festive Superstar. And be able to personally bask in the graces of Miss Robin. Not that that's important. What's crucial is that we can enter the Grand Theater before the audience arrives. So, how do we go about participating in these festivity auditions? I've already procured special invite tickets from Miss Robin's fan club. To tell you the truth, I had been preparing to join the auditions all along. But now it looks like even if I scrape through, I probably still won't have the chance to shake Miss Robin's hand.
So they're still running this thing, huh? It was originally just a publicity stunt, set up by Mikhail to drum up attention. But it looks like it might be worth a shot.
We'll follow Marge's plan. Mr. Gallagher, will you be joining us?
I'm afraid I won't have the time. As a virtual character, I've already completed my final mission. Whether Penacony can awaken from this dream is all down to you.
Should we ever cross paths again? I'd love for you to visit the Express.
All right. I'll have to add to that data bank of yours you've got on the Express.
And Miss Firefly, we thank you for all your support. We're faced with a formidable enemy. As long as the Astral Express and Stellaron Hunter's objectives are aligned, we're willing to cooperate with you.
We've already come this far together. I'd like to join you for the rest of your journey on Penacony. I'm pleased that we can finally fight shoulder to shoulder. I couldn't ask for a better ending.
This is also the spirit of the Trailblaze. Now, everyone, let's prepare to move out.
Wait, you did? Oh, you did! That's my TV, Ira.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sports Sand Hall. This is where challengers thrive and dream chasers shine, all under the watchful eye of the entire universe. If you have ambition, dreams, and the tribe, dear friend, the next superstar of Penacony's Charmony Festival could be
Got my
you.
tissue. Yeah, we're gonna keep her.
Oh,
You have
wow,
an
they
aquarium?
really outdone themselves.
Wanna
I'm
get more
starting
friends
to
for
get
her.
excited.
Behold, here come four friends with spirit high and full of steel. For you,
Wait, why are we in an audition?
stars of the
Ah, I thought we were just gonna watch. Wait, I didn't know we were gonna be in an
About
audition.
us?
Why are we gonna perform?
you have all the potential of a superstar in you.
Excuse me, you four. What are you hoping to get out of all this?
As the last group of contestants, how confident are you in overcoming all of the challenges?
Would you be open to a brief exclusive interview with us? It'll be quick.
Your journey is long and fraught with peril, yet under a sky blanketed by banners, you vie for the crown.
The sword and rose! Protect the beauty! The beauty, the beauty! Magnificent and majestic!
A
Just
knight's
can't
head
get
is
all the
hard as
kids
steel.
here if they adult.
Brotherland's focus is stubborn as a
Those
heel.
says that.
We don't all have to be winners. But if we don't have fun, we'd all be sinners.
People are pouring in. Kinda feels like all sorts of baddies are showing up. Let's get in there quickly and enter the competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make way. Make way.
Coming towards us now is one of Penacony's top 10 wealthiest tycoons and the soul-glad business empire's founder, Mr. Dean.
Wealthiest tycoons.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the director of Soulglad's factory, Ideen Lida. My four friends, introduce yourselves to the audience across the cosmos.
Hello, everybody. I'm Himiko, a nameless from the Astral Express, and these are my companions.
Don't you guys need to hide your identities? Can't hide it anyways. Penacony is plastered with our posters. And because the Astral Express is so well known, the family won't dare to make any rash moves.
The dialogue now can be choose. Oh my god. I guess I'm going with the galactic color and say
Don't expose my net handle to everyone! Hello, everyone! I'm March 7th. I'm an ordinary girl who loves adventures. Hello, everyone. I'm Firefly. I am also an ordinary girl who enjoys adventures.
So it's a bunch of nameless guests. This final face-off is bound to be spectacular. Time is precious. My four friends, come with me.
Grab a bottle of Soul Glad and make your dreams a blast.
This place is buzzing.
That's right. This venue is a miniature representation of that time known as the era filled with boundless possibilities.
I go, someone to run. Yep, it's not that.
Grab a bottle of Soul Glad and make your dreams a black.
Nameless, your arrival reminds me of the grand occasion when Penacony was first established. I was still a young, bright-eyed lad back then, lured here by the watchmaker's ads, full of zeal and ready to make my first fortune in life. Once, during a particularly grueling day, I passed out and was resuscitated by a drink from Mr. Sousa. That sweet taste has since been etched in my mind, and that was what drove me to create the Soul Glad that we all know and love today.
That's
the dream-chasing era was truly a wondrous time. Oh, I miss those days and the watchmaker. Scorched Sand Hall is my homage to that time of boundless I wholeheartedly hope you make it to the finish and emerge as the next superstars of Penacony. Now then, is there anything you'd like to say before the competition officially begins?
And we win this.
That's the trailblazing spirit. How about you, Miss March?
Hello, everyone! Next up, get ready for the Mega March 7th adventure, where I'm going to break the speedrun world record!
Trailblazing into the uncharted and challenging the limits. That's Miss March 7th for you. How about Miss Firefly?
I hope that by the end of this journey, everyone will have achieved the outcome that they hoped for.
Ah, a wonderful wish! Miss Himiko, what are you expecting from your team?
Safety first, everyone.
Simple words, but full of warmth. Waiting for you are 3 stages, each connected to that era. The first 2 stages offer 2 distinct paths to choose from, with unique challenges on each route. And in the last stage, you will face off against a champion who has defended the title to this very day. A beloved contender whose noble virtues are unrivaled. Those are the rules. Simple. Everyone clear? Now then, I hereby announce that the 33rd Scorched Sand Festival of the 20th season, sponsored by Soul Glad Enterprises, has started.
That your slipper? Where?
Everyone, as the
That's a
time in the
ball.
festival is drawing
It's a
closer,
slipper.
we must reach the end as quickly as possible.
But useful Barbie.
Factoring in efficiency and safety, splitting up into 2 groups is the best choice. March and I haven't known Miss Firefly for too long and aren't overly familiar with her. It'd probably be better if the 2 of you paired up.
Fine by me. Let's do it.
All right. I don't have a problem with that.
We'll split into the assigned groups then. Let's not waste time.
Welcome to the first stage of Soul Glad Enterprises' 33rd Scorched Sand Festival of the 20th season, Dream Play Fantasia! In this stage, you can choose between 2 challenges, the School of Acting or School of Action. In the School of Acting challenge, you have to complete 3 performances from 3 scripts and move the panel judges. In the School of Action challenge, you have to defeat 3 groups of enemies convincingly and reach the end. Now, make your choice.
Okay, I'm going to the bathroom. Okay. Oh, well,
Danger.
Yeah, I'll be right back for a while, very quick. So we're back. Oh well, go with me.
The stage of dreams for those who dare to dream. Welcome to the School of...
Competitors, allow me to introduce the rules of this challenge to you. There are 3 stages up ahead. On each, you will find an outline of a script. These 3 scripts were written by the legendary filmmaker, The Watchmaker, and depict various stories from Penacony's era of pioneering. Your task is to bring those moments to life, find the right words, and act convincingly to make the judges feel the script's intended emotions. Oh, I wish you a successful performance. Also, a bit of trivia. The record score for this stage is held by a participant with fiery red hair. His exceptional performance brought even the strictest judge to tears. It's like he wasn't even acting at all.
We are running out of time, so let's get this over with quickly.
Just take a look at this pair! Such stark quality. Since you come as a pair, I'll prep a 2-person scene for you. You two, are you ready? Envision that you both, driven by the spirit of exploration, are arriving at the land of dreams that is Penacony for the first time. But instead of lush lands, you find yourselves amidst swirling sands and desolation, far from the paradise the Watchmaker described. You're driving an old clunker through the wilderness of the dreamscape, braving the cold wind, choking on the dust, and suddenly, a fierce memory zone meme blocks your path. Now, Mr. Greyhair, what line would you deliver to express your disappointment in Penacony?
What? It is the Watchmaker's a big fat liar.
Very good. Now, though you're disappointed, your screen partner is conversely very enthusiastic. Now, young lady, you will say...
This is great! I love living on the wild side!
Very good, very intense. And then we cut to the story's next scene. You find a job mending the rails, but the days are long and your endurance can't keep up, and you finally collapse in the endless expanse of desert. Suddenly, sweet rain falls from the sky, wetting your lips and rousing your spirits. Now, Mr. Greyhair, what line will best express your surprise at this moment? But at this moment, your partner yet gazes into the sky, both her eyes closed. The raindrops fall, blurring her vision, and she tragically says,
Perhaps we were never meant to succeed. Right?
Fantastic! Both of you have an incredibly solid foundation in dialogue delivery. However, lines aren't everything in a performance. Please continue this story on the second stage. Up next, you'll be challenged with a body language test.
I hope these tests won't take too long.
Here, you two are required to skillfully utilize body language to portray the story context I've laid out for you. Picking up from where we left off, a heavy downpour saves you both stranded in the desert. This rain quenches the anger in your heart. You look to your companion, now completely devoid of fighting spirit, wanting to comfort her. At this moment, what should you do to make her laugh?
The test now is about body language. I don't think dialogue is allowed here. What?
Right answer. Your companion sees you rolling about in the sand and thinks about the arduous obstacles along this journey. She can't help but let loose a laugh, rekindling hope in her heart. And so this girl...
I'm gonna get back on my feet and keep moving forward.
A tug at the heartstrings! The story continues to develop. The heavy rain leads you both to sense a business opportunity. So you start venturing into the umbrella industry. But just as the business begins to pick up, competitors start flooding the market with low-priced goods, squeezing your market share. You have no choice. The goods you stockpiled at high prices have to be sold at a loss. This is a pretty self-destructive move, which drives your business to the brink of bankruptcy. At this moment, what would you, who refuses to admit defeat, decide to do? Fantastic! But it's a pity your friend does not agree. Seeing that you're up to your eyeballs in debt, she sees nothing but despair in her future. And then...
I leave Penacony in utter disappointment. Is that okay?
Of course! Absolutely! I was this close to tears! Both of you possess exceptional acting talent! However, the true test is yet to come. You're about to encounter the harshest judge this show has ever seen. You'll need to rely on perfect performances if you want to win them over.
Welcome to the final stage. Actually, all the scenarios that you previously encountered were all from the film Once Upon a Time in Dreams. Two companions arrive on Penacony with nothing but a dream. Their desire for achievement is met with continuous setbacks. Ultimately, one continues on, despite spiraling into debt. While many years later, their paths cross once more in the thriving Penacony. Yet, they refuse to acknowledge each other because... Against the backdrop of a revitalized Penacony, the joy of reunion mixes with the sorrow of past separation, the awkwardness of being strangers, and the shyness of a long-awaited encounter, all converging at this very moment. Give it a shot. Try and convey this bittersweet scene to me. Bring it to life with precise and emotive acting.
Is this ever going to end? I know! Why don't you try that clockwork thing you used before?
Your performance is far. I never imagined that such a sad scene could be portrayed by you two in such a joyful and heartwarming way. Two people sharing a long, cherished friendship, as if time and status meant nothing to them.
Huh? But we haven't even done anything! Is his imagination running wild again?
Brilliant! Your portrayal outdoes the original. It's simply beautiful!
We have passed the test. We ought to hurry up. Stellaron is at stake.
Ah. Oh. Oh, Alex, you for the raid. Alex the Soul. Welcome, raiders. I'm Hoshimizu Aira from Malaysia. I'm a YouTuber, and today I'm streaming Honkai Star Rail. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Give a shout out. Shout out, Iwan. Welcome.
Tedious.
Let's play for a while.
You chose the wrong enemy.
There's more to life. Existence is unity.
Blade of Moonlight.
Eternal sleep. The dead return!
All will be revealed. In lunar flame. Ready for death.
Let's play hide. Can you find the answer? Feeling spiffy?
I'll see you off.
Every petal in all will be swept away by the wind.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame. Do not concern yourself with the outcome.
Congrats to both of you for clearing the stage, but more importantly, are you having fun? Fun is more important than success. Look at the time! You finished much faster than that red-haired contestant did.
That red-haired contestant. Who is that exactly?
You'll find out eventually, but only if you clear the next test first. Welcome to the second stage of the 33rd Scorched Sand Festival in the 20th season, sponsored by Soul Glad Enterprises. Gunfire time! You have the option to choose Gunfire and undergo Brother Hanu's trial, or Time, where you'll face Clucky's trial. And now, make your choice! Dear friends, welcome to the enchanting universe created by the Watchmaker. Awaiting you is the morally dubious yet ever-charming character from the animated Clocky series, Hanu! It is said that these cartoon characters were inspired by the Watchmaker's own experiences. According to research by Clocky scholars, the original Hanu of reality shared a deep friendship with the Watchmaker, akin to comrades in arms. Enter into the world of Honu via the TV by the entrance and partake in an enchanting and suspenseful story with him. Good luck in there.
If it's a gunfire trial, we should be able to settle this with a fight, right? I hope this won't waste too much of our time.
What?
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Are we both in control of...
Very good. Looks like you've got the hang of it. In this Honu's Adventure episode, Boss Stone has got... Alas, Honu...
Oh, brave Honu, you look like you could really use some help. Long time no see, Honu. You look pretty stressed out. How about an intense and thrilling game of Dream Jigsaw to blow off some steam?
Answer is not the A.
Oh my! Are you telling me that Boss Stone has rallied the villains to seize Dreamville? What a dreadful twist of fate! Listen closely, Hanu. I'm aware you're in need of a suitable weapon. And I also know there's one just upstairs. But you know what? You'll have to play an exhilarating round of Dream Jigsaw first. No jigsaw, no moving forward.
I get it. Oh my god, to the extent.
Now scurry along, huh? I can't wait to see you finish the Dream Jig.
Let's stay alert and make sure those monsters don't spot us. Look up there! If we can push that thing down, do you think that would do the trick? Finally, that's all the jigsaw pieces. Let's hurry back.
Oh my! The hurry!
Are such
This.
disconnecting from that thing so suddenly has left me feeling slightly disoriented. Is that Han? What exactly is he talking about?
Tick-tock! It's time for me to make an appearance!
Clocky? I can also see him. Is this character part of the show?
In Dreamville, Clocky is everywhere and can do anything! Like right now! I can be your translator! Tick-tock! Hanu says, battle! We must do battle! The enemy is at our doorstep, and we have no path of retreat for the future of Dreamville! Touch that suspicious-looking TV right now!
So they just jumped inside that TV. Sheesh. Logic in this plot and dialogue is really being pushed to its limits. Well, here we go again. I am gradually...
Oh, did some last we saw, but brave Hanu won't go down.
But...
Guess what? Hanu's favorite...
The storage room. It's behind the shelves, right? He wasn't lying. There's actually a bazooka here. Now we should have a way of dealing with those baddies. This thing feels just like the soaring locust too. Careful. It looks like we've got more company. Get ready to fire! Here we go again. But no big deal. We're pretty handy.
Hello, Andrew Pro. Thank you for the follow. You're saving qualify? Me too. Of course, I want my wife to come home. Might as well. Last I pulled was from I think I messed up.
Well, that's that. But it is,
Congratulations to both of you! Oh, you've overcome all obstacles and proven yourselves. But, unfortunately, there is only one who can be Penacony's festive superstar. In the final stage, you will face the defending champion. If you fail, you will lose the opportunity to become the festive superstar. Welcome to the 33rd Scorched Sand Festival's third stage in the 20th season, sponsored by Soul Glad Enterprises' Superstar Showdown.
No way, I think I just saw someone. Someone extraordinary.
Are you a Knight of Beauty?
Bear witness to
Soon to be departed.
Let's play for a while. Feeling spiffy?
Blade of moonlight.
Eternal sleep. The dead
Return!
Ready for death.
Christ and challenge. You are fighting a gentleman. Put forth all your might.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame.
receive divinity.
So this is the warmth of life.
Let's play. Can you find the answer?
You chose the wrong enemy.
Ah.
What is it we're waiting for?
Kara. Hello, I'm back. Welcome back.
Some value, I suppose. Existence is unity. Every petal in life's garden, all will be swept away by the wind.
Feeling spiffy?
Bear witness to
eternal sleep. The dead
return.
There's more to life.
Tedious.
Behold this symbol of pure. You are fighting a gentleman.
I'll go easy this time.
Pledged on your put forth all your might.
receive divinity.
So this is the warmth of life.
Stand down. Blade of moonlight. All will be revealed. In lunar flame.
Challenge.
I'll see you off. Eternal sleep is not the end. The dead
return.
Let's play. Can you find the answer?
this big up.
We don't have much time. May fate allow us to meet again, Knight of Beauty.
Great.
In that case, let's make our way to the end. Penacony's really thronging with talent. I hope we make it in time.
Danger.
So if all goes well on Twitter, I'll lose. Oh, there.
Congratulations to the Galactic Baseballer and Firefly on becoming this Scorched Sand Festival champion! We look forward to their amazing entrance in the Charmony Festival! Let's give a round of applause to our aspiring young guests!
Congratulations to the both of you on becoming the festive superstars of this year's Charmony Festival before entering the Grand Theater. I, on behalf of the organizers, extend my sincere congratulations to you, wishing you joy under their radiance. As previously promised, my sister, Mr. Yang, and I have met with the Dream Master. We delved into the truth about Penacony and its Stellaron, and have come to a consensus. Both I and the Oak family cannot acquiesce to your request.
Just as expected.
We acknowledge the perspective of you, Nameless. Penacony does require change, but not as you propose. The planet of festivities cannot and will not revert to a place characterized by chaos, disorder, or anarchy. Through your journey of overcoming obstacles, you must have glimpsed the essence of that era. The vulnerable ruthlessly eliminated, equality non-existent, common folk living precarious lives, eking out a dreary existence. Ultimately, only heroes like yourselves manage to achieve success. But I would dare ask, if you did not possess the special status of having a Stellaron, and you were but an anonymous and frail member among the masses, which Penacony would you prefer? A dystopia for the survival of the fittest, or a sweet dream paradise for all?
That's not the point! Don't let him mislead you!
Mr. Sunday, even if the members of the Oak family can't fully agree on what to do about the Stellaron, Now's not exactly the time to be holding an extensive discourse about Penacony's past and future, is it? The Stellaron issue concerns the life and death of everyone on Penacony. If anyone has a better suggestion, the crew is more than willing to listen. Also, it'd be best to tell us the ins and outs of that meeting. This way, we'll at least know what Welt and Ms. Robin are dealing with, and the reason why they failed to make our appointment.
Ah, Navigator. That is precisely my intention. With all present, let's begin by discussing the details of that meeting. Let's talk about our tribulations and choices, our ideals and beliefs, and our final course of action. The only path to take.
You mean to say that for the longest time, there have been scoundrels who would use the Charming Festival that I have bequeathed to the masses as a tool to realize their ambition?
Indeed, Dream Master. Once the Charmony Festival begins, the Stellaron's powers, along with the song, will be broadcast across the entire planet of Penacony. And then everyone in their dreams will be unable to awaken.
This is indeed surprising to me. The dreamscape is maintained by the collective effort of the 5 families. If someone were to use the Charmony Festival to recklessly disseminate the power of the Stellaron, this individual must hold a position of great authority. Do you have any suspects?
I'd like to ask, did you really not know of the Stellaron's existence?
I would have never thought that this nameless would point the spear at me. Quite astonishing indeed.
If I have offended, the Astral Express extends its sincere apologies. But the current circumstances are dire and leave no room for meticulous inquiry. We're doing this out of concern for the Dreamscape's safety. So, if you could, please alleviate our concerns.
Dream Master, it's just to prove that the Charmony Festival has nothing to do with the Stellaron. If we're being overly cautious, I will return to the stage to offer tribute in song, just per the arrangement.
Sunday, Robin. I've watched you two grow up and know your dispositions like the back of my hand. Both of you, right now, can surely be lauded as their most devout advocates. I already know your resolve. The magnitude of this matter is enormous and cannot be taken lightly. Since Mr. Yang has asked with such earnestness, I will personally respond in kind. If there is a need, the entire Oak family will be mobilized to heed your call. Someday, might I ask you to beseech them to cast their light unto me, and question me in their stead, so that no lies may be concealed?
I will do as you command.
Robin, could I entrust you to be present as a witness, to document the truth, and to proclaim my innocence, so that all slander may be utterly dispelled?
I will do as you command.
May thy will be carried out on earth, just as it is in the heavens.
Oh, triple-faced soul, please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron, so that he will not be able to fabricate lies and make false vows.
Let us begin. There is nothing else to prepare.
Understood. Question. Have you devoted your life to your god, never worshipping other gods?
Naturally.
Do you love your god as you do yourself, always heeding their admonishments?
Naturally.
Have you strayed from the path expected by your god, betraying their name?
Never.
Have you ever been inordinate with your asks of your god, coveting more than the foundation of the creation itself?
Never.
Then, a final question. Do you swear to fulfill all vows, past, present, and future?
With the Eon as my witness, if I do not deliver on my words, or if I renege on my vows, may I be cursed in accordance with divine law.
They have seen your faith, and have endorsed your faith. With this, it can be evidenced...
Just a moment.
What is it, Mr. Yang?
I have another question I hope to have answered. To my understanding, the family's harmony and prosperity have never relied on so-called divine laws. The god you both mentioned, are they truly Shipe?
Mr. Yang should know that those belonging to the family toil together as if they were kin, embracing solidarity and unity under their light. All duplicity is laid bare before the harmony. Such a delicate and complex symphony. Which other god could perfectly harmonize this, if not for the Great One, Shipe?
Perfectly harmonize. Therein lies the problem. It isn't an outsider lurking in the shadows who changed the harmony, but a dissonance that has surreptitiously emerged from within this very symphony itself. In the distant past, there existed an Eon. With one flick of the wrist, they crafted the laws of the cosmos. Their followers formed the Beyond the Sky Choir, spreading solemn and reverent hymns throughout the universe. Later, they fell. The route traversed by this Eon clashed with the harmony, ultimately being absorbed and fused into it. The chorus that once reverberated across worlds fell silent, and when it echoed anew, it was transformed into the hymn of harmony. Though an Eon may perish, paths with no masters still linger. In the all-forgiving harmony, echoes of bygone dissonance may subtly arise.
Mr. Yang, being overly astute can be a detriment. Especially when you find yourself alone and without allies.
So this is how it is.
For the sake of our grand cause someday, please afford these two an opportunity to rest.
What?
Sorry, Robin. It's just you. I did not wish for you to know this. It's a pity that things have turned out this way.
So, this is the true reason I can't sing? The shadow that envelops Penacony is actually...
We were never children of the Harmony. Our ideal paradise could not have been crafted by Xipe. True bliss can only be guaranteed by the one who transcends the many. Within the foundation of law, humanity establishes civilization, and through harmony, we obtain order.
Unbelievable. To think that there would be remnants of the Order on Penacony.
What have you done with Mr. Yang and Miss Robin?
Don't worry. I just gave them some time alone to ponder their fates.
You should know that these actions make you an enemy of the Astral Express.
Should we need to stand against the Nameless, it would only be myself and the Oak family involved. But we haven't reached that point yet, have we? Your efforts for the justice of Penacony are evident to everyone, and have been widely observed. Oh, I intend to. But that hinges on the outcome of this negotiation.
If it is the Order that drove you to imprison Welt and Robin, and you're using them to coerce our compliance, then there'll be no point in entertaining any type of discussion.
You're mistaken, Miss Himiko. They are in very safe hands, and just as the family has always proclaimed, no one can be harmed in the dreamscape, least of all in the beautiful new world belonging to the Order. Penacony and the entire universe have witnessed far too much innocent bloodshed. The strong wield their blades against the weak, and the victors push the vanquished to the brink of life. Natural selection. The world abides by this principle, establishing the well-being of humanity atop the corpses of the downtrodden. Only we, or rather, I, possess the power to put an end to this farce.
So you've decided to resurrect a dead Eon? No one's ever done such a thing.
If Miss Himiko is interested, let's draw back the veil and speak candidly. I've always firmly believed that people can understand one another through peaceful means. I'm willing to divulge the unembellished truth as to the intentions of the Order's Pathstriders, so that you will make better judgment for the Astral Express, for Penacony, and for this stretch of the universe. Words can hardly do justice to the beauty of that ideal. So, come with me, everyone. Let us retrace our steps, and see once again where this road leads.
Huh? Where'd he go?
Welcome. This isn't any location in Penacony's dreamscape. It's my inner world. The reason the scenery before you remains unchanged is because your consciousness has drawn on similar concepts to fill in the gaps.
That means...
Did you do the same to Welt?
It's a tuning process. Stronger in effect and more draining on the mind. The gray-haired guest has experienced it before, so he should understand what it entails. Tuning allows you to intuitively grasp my feelings, which also means that I cannot hide anything from you. Now, everyone, please look at the huge screen. The road we once took begins here. From this point on, you will witness the numerous decisions I've faced. I've selected a portion of these to share with you. I believe after going through similar predicaments, you'll be able to better understand my thoughts. Let's begin. The first decision. A story about a baby bird. This story happened when Robin and I were very young. We were victims of the Stellaron disaster, and the family's Mr. Gopher Wood, who would later become the Dream Master of Penacony, saw that we siblings had no one to turn to and took us in. Later on, Robin and I lived a time with nary a care in the world. One day, after dinner, while my younger sister and I were lounging about in Mr. Gopher Wood's yard, that baby bird was tiny. It didn't even have all of its feathers, and it couldn't sing. When we found it, it was already on its last breath, having fallen into a shrub. Probably abandoned by its parents, we decided to build a nest for it right there and then. However, thinking back, that winter was unusually cold, with fierce winds at night in the yard, not to mention the many poisonous bugs and wild beasts in the vicinity. It was clear that if we left the fledgling in the yard, it stood no chance of surviving until spring. So, I suggested we take it inside, place it on the shelf by the window, and asked the adults to fashion a cage for it. We decided that when it regained its strength enough to spread its wings, we would release it back into the wild. The tragic part, something that we'd never considered, was that this bird's fate had already been determined long before this moment. Its destiny was determined by our momentary whim. Now, I pass the power of choice to you all. Faced with this situation, what choice would you make? Stick to the original plan, and build a nest with soft net where the Charmony dove fell. Or build a cage for it, and feed it, giving it the utmost care from within the warmth of a home. I eagerly await your answer. Interesting. Since you've made up your mind, allow me to reveal what fate this choice will bring to the fledgling. From what I've observed, there are at least 3 predators in that yard that prey on small birds. The Vossicle Scorpion, Asdana Wolverine, and the Huntington Winged Snake. Even if they shy away from humans, these animals are still near apex predators in a fenced location like a yard. In such a location, only one fate awaits that little Charmony dove. A painful death.
Oh.
As for the choice you made, I am deeply sorry. Now, let us advance to the second decision. This time, it's the story of a dream chaser. This story happened when I was appointed as Bronze Melodia, a position exclusive to the Oak family, charged with listening to the problems and vexations of Dreamscape residents, and providing them with the relevant guidance. was during that period that I had the opportunity to hear voices from all corners of the dreamscape. Joy, sorrow, arrogance, regret. The complex tapestry of human nature that formed the world. And I was fortunate to catch a glimpse of it. He was a dream chaser and an illegal stowaway. Just like the rest of them, he came to Penacony in search of a better life. Except that, to most people, the price he paid, I suppose you could say it was everything. He told me I sold everything I could at home. The house, the land, even his 2 children. He said he could not afford to raise them, and that at least they could eat if they lived as slaves. He had a plan in place. He would buy back his children once he had made his fortune, and enjoy Penacony's beautiful dream with them. Alas, his plan to smuggle himself was somewhat clumsy, and he was sniffed out by those pig-headed hounds. After hearing the Dream Chaser's story, I immediately appealed to the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. That way, at least he could live peacefully. But I was still too naive to the ways of the world. I did not anticipate that what I thought was a kind gesture would later lead to dire consequences. I'll tell you the outcome soon. For now, I'd like you all to make a choice. Will you do as I did, and try to convince the Bloodhound family to stop their pursuit, so that the Dream Chaser may live peacefully and realize his wishes? Or will you remain silent, leaving him to languish while the hounds are hot on his heels, until his inevitable judgment arrives? I look forward to everyone's decisions. Who knows? Perhaps they might even alter the outcome of this tragedy.
This question... Surely it has some connection to the baby bird story. And this connection is precisely the breakthrough Sunday aims to use to persuade us. I'd probably choose to ask the Bloodhounds to cease their pursuit.
I'm honored to witness you arriving at the same decision. Out of respect, I'll share with you the dire consequences that my choice back then brought about. First, the outcome. He attained major success. After avoiding capture, he ran a business for a few years, very quickly making a name for himself, elevating his status. He might not have become a tycoon like old Audie, but he was considered a character of excellent repute. Now then, did he realize the wish he set out to achieve? No. The last time I saw him was in the real world, where the hounds were going to permanently exile him, and I was the accompanying Bronze Melodia. The mission was simple. Listen to the criminal's repentance. He told me the reason he was in this predicament was because he conspired to usurp the head of the Alfalfa family. When I asked him about his 2 children, he instead responded with a question. What children? In the end, my heart aligned with the harmony, and the good deed I dared to undertake held no value, turning instead into a wrongdoing. It created a lamentable oppressor and countless oppressed individuals. As to your choice, I once again offer my heartfelt apologies. Next comes the third and final decision, and the story this time is my own. This story happened the day I was appointed the Oak family head. At that time, Mr. Gopherwood was the current Dream Master, and as per his wish, we had a private conversation. What surprised me was that the Dream Master had only come to deliver a letter to me. He let me read its contents, and it was a letter from my... The letter contained the usual pleasantries, anecdotes from her travels, nothing out of the ordinary. Just as I started wondering how this letter related to our discussion, the Dream Master began to speak.
Do you know who wrote this letter?
My sister, of course. But why would you personally visit me to hand me a letter from my sister containing mere trivialities?
To help you grasp the full scope of this issue. Do you know where Robin is at this moment?
From what the letter indicates, she must be in Caspelina 8, correct? She's touring there right now.
Correct. Has she mentioned anything about a stray bullet?
A stray bullet? What?
A war has broken out on that planet. It is because of this very reason that Robin chose this destination. To spread the word of the Harmony. And to save the lives of that planet. She personally made for the front lines. She hoped to ease the people's suffering with song, and was willing to brave mortal danger to deliver the IPC's medical supplies. Unfortunately, stray bullets show no such compassion.
Is she all right?
If the operation was successful, she should by the eon above. The bullet struck her neck directly, yet possibly as a reward for her consistent deeds of harmony. It didn't hit any vital arteries.
Those damned savages! I'll pack my bags right away. Now you understand why she always wears such elaborate neck ornaments, don't you?
How could this happen? Miss Robin.
It's all in the past, so please don't worry. I share this in the meager hope that you will understand the Harmony's limitations and predicament. As grandiose as the strong defending the weak sounds, many times, it is nothing more than wishful thinking. Likewise, I've prepared one last question, one last choice. But rest assured, this choice will not have any grave consequences. Because this is merely a figment of imagination, a nightmare that has haunted me through countless nights. If you ever had the opportunity to make a choice like I did, would you still support Robin's journey on the path of harmony? I am now aware of everyone's stances. Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the Harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream paradise can only be established through the Order, where the strong govern the weak. I know the suffering of being tormented, the turmoil of losing your way, how sorrow and even despair set in when matters don't work out. All of this causes me unending pain, Because this is not what happiness is at all. We must teach the weak how to live a happy life. And this life isn't some noble propriety that the upper crust preaches, but in definitive terms, a way of survival that belongs to everyone.
So what is your definition of living a happy life?
Good question. Human consciousness is fundamentally an illusion, a cage known as self-worth. People lured in by this illusion make mistakes, yet still ask that external influences bear the burden. When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cages culminate to form a prison. A place dictated only by the rule of survival of the fittest. Nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis is known as order. That is what I want to do. Unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter choices any longer, nor face the weaknesses of humanity. They can cast aside their primal instincts to build a haven for mankind. Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract, so allow me to provide a simple example. As you all may know, there are societal norms like weekends and long weekends that exist on some worlds.
Yes, you did.
During these hard-earned rest days, people are given the chance to extricate themselves from the stresses of everyday life, allowing a certain tranquility to return to their souls. And it is only on these days that people do not have to adhere to the law where the strong prey on the weak. They can live out their lives happily during these brief intermissions. It's just a pity that 2 or 3 days are still too fleeting compared to the span of a lifetime. From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days. Following Sunday, there should ensue a second, a third, and indeed an infinite procession of Sundays. This should be the face of the new world. Idyllic, eternal, peaceful days. And thus, every person can return to their base selves in this utopia. Some gaze in reverence at the stars, pouring their whole beings into calculating the distance between us and the isolated world of Pagana. Meanwhile, some seek refuge in quiet corners, holding one another, unencumbered by the chains of unwelcome obligations. There would be no need to bear the hardships of reality. Only in this way can humanity face the inevitable end with the purest of spirit, living a life of dignity. This is what it is to live in bliss.
A good and bad vibes coming.
Miss Firefly,
The way that
you who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome, you of all would surely understand this.
The good part is you get to see the path of the siblings, character building. But the bad part is it
like a flawless theory.
shows. I don't know. This is a little bit sensitive.
But
Basically,
what is
this
the
what our
price to
Christianity
attain all
in real
this?
life also facing. To be honest.
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained for everyone, someone must remain trapped in solitary awakening
But
until the
something
end
else
of the
they
cosmos.
are working right now, not in-
Awakening.
But it's also in the form
Which
of
means that
harvest
this
sun.
so-called paradise is still a dream. Stepping into this paradise means forsaking reality, correct?
It is not forsaking, but
But they're doing it in
transcending.
the name of harmony, which is
Flesh,
very
blood, sorrow, weakness.
Oh, I caught
The
Ira.
physical is the root of spiritual suffering.
Oh yeah, you
It's only
did.
logical that we defeat it.
But in this
But
supposed
Ira,
bliss, people
wait,
won't have defeated their demons.
What
The chance to overcome their tribulations will be forever lost to them. In other words, it is an escape.
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape. On the contrary, the seeds of escape exist in everyone's hearts. Don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as to why we sleep, it is because we are afraid to awaken from our dreams. But this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this can we truly understand the frailty of human nature, and from there, show compassion
There's
and
another
protection.
one I found. I think it's very nice.
I admit that you are a born leader. Your perspective on humanity brims with pessimism. Yet you express compassion for all, even when your heart pities them. But unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals making choices for themselves is their birthright. The want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak or not, it is not up to another to decide. Perhaps in your mind, you also view me as weak? Because I don't think so.
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also naturally give you our answer. We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHale instructed before. Tell him our choice.
What is this place?
Does this place ring any bells, Misha?
I don't know, but I feel a sense of deja vu. What is this place?
It's the realm within a dream bubble. This was left to the Astral Express by a nameless, but weirdly, when we entered it, it was completely empty. Dr. Edward from the Dreamscape sales store told me that dreams are formed from memories, and a dream bubble can't take shape if its core is empty. So I thought you might be able to help us in unraveling this mystery, Misha. As a hotel doorman, you know Penacony best among us.
I don't know much about dream bubbles, but if you want to figure out what this mansion is, I'll do my best.
I'm counting on you then.
Himeko, I still don't get it. Why were you so sure that Misha had a connection with this dream bubble?
I wasn't sure. It was just a hunch. But since Misha feels familiar with this place, my hunch might be correct. Exactly. This is where you and Firefly encountered death, which we now know as dormancy. Considering its connection to Dreamflux Reef, it's not surprising it appeared here. The question now is, who brought you here? Based on the clues we have so far, it's unlikely to be that masked fool. So identifying them is crucial to us. We're drawing closer to the truth once more. Let's give Misha some time, as I believe he'll unveil the secret of this dream bubble.
All right, but there are doors all over the place. Which one should we choose? Do you have any idea, Misha?
I guess... maybe this way? I'm not entirely sure, but... let's give it a try.
managed to...
Weird. This place is quite different from the hotel. But I feel like I've been here before, and even lived here for a while. If I remember correctly, there should be a fireplace down that hallway. Clocky and I used to sit by the fire, listening to the crackling of firewood. And the room on the other side was the toy room. I loved spreading out all the toys from the box on the floor and making up stories for each of them. Hold on. This doesn't make sense. Didn't I grow up in Dreamflux Reef? So, what is this place?
This could be a case of amnesia. Don't worry, Misha. It's common for everyone to forget certain aspects of the past. Those memories haven't vanished. They're just lying in the depths of your mind. We can surely get them back. Since this place seems familiar to you, why don't we explore a few more rooms and see if you can recall anything more?
Yeah, then let's check out the rooms I just mentioned.
Mikhail, that's the name. Now we all know him as the Watchmaker. So, who is he talking to? Do you know anything about it, Misha?
I'm sorry, I don't know much about the Watchmaker. But, Mikhail...
Anything special about that name?
Mikhail is Grandpa's name.
Grandpa? Do you mean you're the Watchmaker's grandson?
But we haven't heard anything about the Watchmaker having descendants. And the name Mikhail is not rare. Perhaps it's merely a coincidence. Could you tell us more about your grandpa, Mikhail?
Yeah, sure. He was a seafarer who fearlessly ventured into mysterious seas and storms. He was always on the sea and had lots of friends who accompanied him on his travels. He didn't want me to call him Grandpa because that would make him sound old. He believed he was still young. The name Mikhail was given to him by his parents, Mihaly and Elise, both renowned seafarers. Every time he came back, he'd share his logbook with me and tell me about his adventures at sea. I want to become a great adventurer, just like him.
It appears that the seafarer has nothing to do with the Watchmaker. So, perhaps it's just a coincidence? So, where is your grandpa now?
He went off on a new journey. And it's been quite a while since I last saw him. So, where has Clocky gone? Did he leave to protect Dreamville?
Luca, can you do shout out for Midori, please? He's a streamer and DJ.
I heard some noises from the room. Origami Bird? That's a friend of mine.
You and Origami Bird are friends?
Yeah. It's a member of the Compass crew, just like Clocky and Miss Mirror. And there's more than just one Origami Bird. They are a big family with lots of brothers and sisters who look the same. They follow Miss Mirror's orders and handle all sorts of jobs on the ship. They're the best sailors.
Sailors? Can Origami Birds be sailors?
Could you tell us more about the Compass, Misha?
The Compass is a ship bound for the New World. Clocky and his partners travel through layers of fog to the depths of the sea. Whenever there is danger, Clocky will use a compass and guide the ship in the right direction.
That's a great story. But in the Penacony cartoon, Clocky and his partners have always lived in Dreamville and never ventured out, right?
Huh? Oh, that does seem to be the case. Weird. I clearly remember Clocky arrived in the New World in the end.
Perhaps Clocky has a hidden past.
I think I hear the sound of water.
You once mentioned there's a magnificent fountain up ahead. Look, there it is!
The water resembles a precious jewel, embedded in the dreams of all seafarers. Every time I gaze at the shimmering lights beneath the waves, it feels as though I'm back in this place, standing by your side.
Have you recalled anything, Misha?
Yeah, I saw these sentences in Grandpa's logbook. He used to say that despite the perils of the sea, whenever he stood on the deck in the afternoon, overlooking the sparkling waves, he would think of this fountain in front of his house. He often said that those moments felt like returning to his family's side, and the difficulties at sea didn't seem quite as challenging.
You know, I quite understand such sentiments. Hey, don't tease! I was just being a bit sentimental.
Perhaps every adventurer far from home carries a fountain within their soul, even though the other side of the sea.
Yeah, while Grandpa was at home, we would stand by the fountain and place the compass, a toy boat that I made, into the pool. Back then, I would ask him when I could go on adventures like him, and he would always laugh and say I was still too young.
It seems this Mikhail is truly a seafarer and has nothing to do with the watchmaker.
Yeah. Based on Misha's recollections, the scenes in the dream bubble appear to be his childhood memories.
But this raises more questions. According to Misha, he was clearly born on an oceanic planet and led an ordinary life, with no connection to Penacony at all. Could this be some sort of metaphor? Perhaps the sea refers to the memory zone.
I'm sorry. I don't know, but my memories keep pouring out uncontrollably, like water flowing from a fountain. Perhaps I'll remember more things if we go further.
We're going to the opposite side, right?
No, we should turn left here.
Huh? Something feels different about this place.
Up ahead is Grandpa's study. It was in...
The atmosphere in this room feels totally different.
Misha! You finally come!
Clocky! You're here! Yeah. This is the room where we first met each other.
Are those books on the bookshelf logbooks left behind by that seafarer?
Yeah. Whenever he came back, he placed a logbook on the bookshelf in his room. They contain records of his expeditions to every corner of the world. He described our world as a fountain. At some point, the sea started to gradually swallow up the land where people lived to ensure that everyone had land to settle on. He had to continue exploring the sea and search for the source of the rising seawater. On that day, he called me to his study, telling me that he was embarking on another journey. However, I could sense the gravity in his expression. It was the same look I had seen on my father's face before his final voyage. I asked him if I could go with him, but he said that my adventure lay elsewhere, and and told me to stay home and patiently await a certain sound at the door.
What sound?
He told me about a vast ocean in the sky. An ocean of stars. He spoke of a train that transports children with a desire to venture far away, traversing the sea of stars without ever stopping. He said that he knew the crew on the train, and that he had asked them to take me along. He said the journey I had always dreamed of would start there.
A train? Could it be?
It's the Astral Express. I remember now. Grandpa's friends are a group of nameless who came to this world to resolve a disaster caused by a star. Then, he gave his pocket watch to me. It was his cherished treasure, appearing in every one of his adventure tales. He explained that difficult times were ahead, but assured me that the watch would guide me. He said, as long as I kept moving forward, I'd eventually reach my desired destination. And then, it was the distant sound of a train whistle, echoing throughout the room.
Exactly, Misha! And then we followed that whistle, didn't we?
Yeah. I think I can still find the way we took back then.
This is the dream jigsaw, right? So we're supposed to find the exit.
Do you remember? You said you obtained a mysterious shard.
Hey, the shape...
Looks like we're just one step from...
This is it. This is my room of clocks. While I spent my time waiting for Grandpa to return from his voyage, Walter gave me this workshop, and it became my secret here. I learned how to repair clockwork and gears out of my fondness of precision mechanics. In my dreams, I was the captain of the compass, embarking on adventures with my companions, Clocky and Miss Mirror, in search of the new world. I was born and raised here.
So, this building in the dream bubble is your childhood home?
Yes, but not exactly. To be more precise, this dream bubble itself is my home.
Looks like you've remembered everything now.
Wait. Why does it feel like everyone else knows something I don't?
March, do you remember when he mentioned a clocky that only he could see?
Yeah, the little guy here, right? But we all saw him in Dreamflux Reef, right? And Mr. Yang even greeted him.
Looks like everyone on the Astral Express has a childlike spirit.
The answer lies in the Astral Express. His experience shows that neither Firefly nor Acheron can see this clocky. And when we were in Dreamflux Reef, you may have noticed that for some reason, nobody outside of the crew had ever talked with Clocky. A mimetic life that can only be seen by a select few. It's just like a hidden message, left by someone for the nameless.
But Misha can see Clocky too, right? They even grew up together. But Misha hasn't started the way of the Trailblaze yet.
That's the key to the mystery, March. Now, take a moment to recall. Have you ever seen anyone outside of the crew interact with Misha?
Wait. No way!
That's the answer, March 7th. This dream bubble is the place where I was born. And I'm a dweller in this dream. Just like a memory zone meme. I should have stayed here and waited for you. But when reality and memories merged, I unconsciously pushed open that door and left the bubble with Clocky.
So it's not that the Watchmaker's dream bubble is empty, but rather the stuff inside ran away? And the whistle you heard was the sound of the Express arriving at Penacony?
That's one way to see it, but I believe there's a longer story behind all this. It's best for Misha himself to explain all the details. How about we start with your name? Now, should we call you Misha, or...?
Thank you all for helping me rediscover my true self. Now, please allow me to reintroduce myself. I was born on Lushaka, in the Presmere system. Adopted by seafarers Mikhail and Char. They gave me a treasure. A name that carried their hopes. Mikhail Char Legwork. Or simply, Misha. If you prefer, you can call me by a more familiar name. The Watchmaker.
So, you're the Watchmaker himself?
Unfortunately, that legendary figure is no more. I'm only a reflection of his life. As for the child who has been with you, he's the innocent protagonist of Misha's childhood dream. Friend of Clocky, a young apprentice, and a future mechanic on the Express. And this also marks the beginning of his journey, devoted to the Trailblaze.
At the end of the journey, I left this little flame, which I so cherished, in my deepest dreams, hoping to pass it on to the nameless of future generations. However, he somehow left the dream bubble and forgot all about his task. I apologize for all the confusion this caused.
Because he was born with a desire to trailblaze, wasn't he? I don't think Misha has forgotten his role as a guide. He remembered it, and that's why he mistakenly appeared as a hotel doorman in his dream from the very beginning. The one who brought our unconscious friend here must have been Misha. If that's the case, we encountered the Watchmaker's legacy from the beginning, didn't we?
Well, I have a sarcastic friend who says I always take big detours and end up back where I started. Perhaps that's what every nameless has to go through. But in the end, you found me. I'm sure you're all wondering what my legacy is. I believe my hound has mentioned the Stellaron and my wealth. If I may apologize, the Stellaron part is real. As for my wealth, however, it's nothing more than a baseless rumor. I left my homeland as a child and embarked on the journey of Trailblaze. I traveled to various planets until finally reaching Asdana, where my friends and I built the original Penacony and fought for its future ever since. I've been moving forward all my life, doing what I could to overcome the obstacles in my path. But ultimately, my journey reached its end, and I left behind no possessions worth entrusting. So, if you ask what's left within this worn-out train engine that can be called a legacy, I suppose it's the things that are still burning in the engine's furnace. Now that you're well aware of the current situation of Penacony, I certainly hope that you'll help me get this world back on track. But I'll leave that decision to you. For the path of Trailblaze is never paved by others. All I have for you is a story and 2 gifts. I want to give you my pocket watch. It has accompanied me throughout my long journey, guiding that naive child forward, and has been blessed with the presence of so many great people up to this day. And my hat, too. The one who navigated for me placed it on my head and planted a fanciful thought in my mind. The trailblazing expedition will never end. Now, it's time for you to make your choice. Once you've made up your mind, open that door and enter the long dream of an old man. I'll be waiting for you at the end of this corridor of time.
Hi. All right, everyone. Let's make a decision. Although I don't think anyone will have any objections.
Of course. We've come this far. Surely there's no other option than moving forward.
In that case, it's unanimous. Then let's proceed together to the end of this dream and tell Mikhail our decision.
Mikhail, where are you going?
Someone has to step up and save Lushaka.
Damn,
So
I
why
hate
can't it be me, Misha?
Please don't go. And if you must, please take me with you. Don't leave me alone.
Even without me, you know how to proceed forward, brave Captain Misha. The compass is waiting for you. Haven't you always wanted to be a better adventurer than me?
Now go, board that train and start your journey.
Where are you going, Mikhail?
I'm going to clean the floor in the parlor car. I promised the conductor.
Wait, first tell me, did you fix this watch?
Yeah?
I know what it looked like before. Its chain was broken, the back case torn, and the marks on the dial all worn out. How did you manage to fix it?
Well, it's hard to explain, but I knew it could be fixed. It's the hands, Mr. Amundsen. Its hands were intact and pointing in the right direction, so I knew there would be a way to fix the rest.
I see. You'll work with me from now on. Haven't you always wanted to tinker with this train? You're its mechanic now. As for the conductor, I'll do the talking.
But I only know how to fix watches.
Don't worry. You've got what it takes. I'll teach you what you need to know.
Where are you going, legwork? It's time to head to our next stop. I'm staying in Astana with Rosalina and Tiernan. I see. This place reminds you of home. The people of Astana have only achieved a tiny victory and still have a long way to go towards true freedom. Hanunu needs us. Don't worry, not all journeys lead to the stars. Even if I leave the Express, our path of Trailblaze will continue. Yeah, I knew you wouldn't stay on the Express forever. Leave in peace, my friend. And, take this with you. This is Mr. Amundsen's hat. But why?
When he departed, he said he would leave it to his best student. Well, I suppose the time has come. Farewell, legwork. Take care of Tiernan and Rosalina. And don't forget to write to us.
Where are you going, Watchmaker?
Don't worry, Micah. Just going on a little trip. Someone has to be at the forefront of the interstellar frontier, and I'm the only former Nameless in Penacony. So why can't it be me?
Because you're all we have! Have you forgotten about Tiernan? The cosmos is way more dangerous now. What will happen to Penacony if we lose you too?
But what will happen to Penacony if we don't find a way out? Ah, Tiernan. How could I ever forget him? I've spent countless sleepless nights asking myself why I didn't go with him back then. We Nameless won't stop. Don't worry, Micah. It's just a matter of getting back to my old profession. Just wait for me to come back. But if, and it's a big if I don't come back in one piece, then you'll become the next Watchmaker.
Where are you going, old man?
Oh, you're here.
Answer my question. What are you up to?
Relax, Gallagher. I just came up with a great idea. Wanna hear it?
Oh, come on. Aren't all your ideas just ways to get yourself killed? I may be blunt here, but you're the last remaining hero in Penacony. If you die too, the secret of Stellaron will go to the grave with you.
Yes. I'm afraid there's no way out in Penacony, so I'll have to consider alternatives beyond Asdana. We'll organize a festival using the Watchmaker's legacy as a facade, and send invitations to the entire cosmos to gather people here.
So, a desperate struggle against the family?
Desperate? Don't we have you here, my friend? This task is challenging, but what hasn't been challenging for us along the way? Well, whatever you do, remember, make sure to send an invitation to the Astral Express.
Misha! Where are you going?
Oh, it's you, Clocky. Take me to Dreamflux Reef. Last night, I had a long dream about the day we met. I want to write down that dream.
Write it down? Why?
Oh, so I won't forget it. Do you remember how you got your name, Clocky?
Of course! You told me that when you were a kid, you lived in a room full of clocks. Those wall clocks and pocket watches grew up with you and were your best friends.
Yes, but what I didn't mention was there's a funny misunderstanding behind it. I was a kid, and there was always a special pocket watch in my memories. It was with my grandpa, guiding him on his sea voyages and leading the way in his every adventure story. I wanted to have a pocket watch like that too. And that's when you appeared in my dreams.
Yeah. Every night, we boarded the compass and set sail together.
But you know what? It wasn't until the day my grandpa gave it to me that I realized it wasn't a pocket watch at all. It was a compass. So, your name should have been Compassy. And the Watchmaker is just a nameless.
We've arrived to next?
You know, Clocky, I don't think I'll be going anywhere else. There's still time. There's still time. There's still time. I've traveled far enough. It's time for a little break.
Oh. So, we'll set out again. When you're rested?
No, I'll stay here. And then, this is where it ends.
This is... where it ends? What you told me, that the trailblazing expedition would never end.
Yeah, that's what I said. So now, it's up to you to decide your next destination.
My next destination? What's that supposed to be? I've been following you, Misha. You're acting weird today. If you're feeling down, we can just do what we usually do. With the clockwork.
No, I'm not feeling down. As for clockwork, yeah, it resolves all problems.
Oh, you got another Ira fish.
So, do you know what clockwork actually is?
I'm not quite sure.
Well, everyone gets lost at times. They may hesitate and doubt which way to go. That happens in this dreamscape and beyond. But don't worry. Everyone goes through moments of uncertainty and hesitation. Eventually, they gather the courage to make bold decisions. Whether it's calming, joyful, angry, or sad. All they need is a little nudge to take that step toward where they truly belong. I'm leaving that little nudge with you, and I hope you'll share it with others. Such is the essence of clockwork, the will of the Trailblaze. Clocky's hands spin around non-stop, indicating confusion, frustration, and weakness. But ultimately, people still need to move forward.
Just like your hands, always pointing ahead. This is where my journey ends. From now on, it is your path to walk.
Trailblazing means taking paths your predecessors forswore, and venturing even further. The Penacony in Mikhail's dreams does not belong to Order.
Okay, we're gonna end it here. We'll continue later.
I can't believe that Eon would cast a glance at Penacony at a time like this. Is it because of the resonance from the legacy of the Trailblaze? Or perhaps the bond between you is so strong that it even impresses an Eon?
Well, there might be another possibility. Perhaps they want to witness, on behalf of the fallen Eons, who will hold the future of Penacony.
If that's the case, on behalf of the Dream Master of Penacony and the 107,336 members of the Oak family, I'm extending a formal invitation to all of you.
I am super hungry.
Cordially inviting you all to the Penacony Grand Theater to participate in the upcoming Charmony Festival. And, of course, you won't be in the audience, but on center stage. Since the future of the Stellaron, Penacony, and even the entire cosmos is at stake, let's draw a conclusion there, in all fairness. If you truly believe in Akavili's path, then show me their courage and determination.
Okay, so here we go. I have to choose a new light cone. Apparently we have to use this version of Trailblazer in order to fight the new boss. But right, so we end here. Thank you guys for watching. Continue tonight. I have my lunch and I'm going out. I'll see you in a bit. So before that, let's wait someone. I wonder who's on at 8 hours.